everybody. It's Cameron Jones here with the Cult Classic Podcast, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
And special guest once again for the Halloween season,
Chris Rymer.
Don't I'm
do
sorry.
That. I'm sorry.
That was intense.
Oh, I did forget. I should have like Jordan Bones. We're in the holiday season,
Nah,
right?
we're not doing that Simpsons thing. As you know, we're in the Halloween spirit. We're going to keep you with... We're not doing it.
We're in the holiday season. I don't know if we're in the spirit. It doesn't seem like.
We're in the holiday season, and we're going to keep it going with Poltergeist. A young family are visited by ghosts in their home. At first, the ghosts appear friendly, moving objects around the house to the amusement of everyone. Then they turn nasty and start to terrorize the family before they kidnap the youngest daughter, Carol Ann. Will the family be able to find unconventional help to reclaim their daughter from the beyond, or the house keep her forever? Poltergeist.
It's a classic lesson. If you're going to build on a graveyard, you got to move the bones and not just the tombstones.
Gotta
You
move
didn't
on.
move the bodies!
They're here.
They certainly are here.
You know, terrifying special effects.
Truly.
For some reason, I forget it's Steven Spielberg. It's a great movie.
Directed by Toby Hooper, the guy who brought you Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1 and 2, and also the Billy Idol Dancing With Myself music video.
Nice.
Toby Hooper, starring Craig T. Nelson, Jo Beth Williams, Beatrice Straight, Dominic Dune, Heather O'Rourke, Michael McManus, and Oliver Robin.
Did we say the real star of the movie, Zelda Rubinstein? Did we get her in there?
They linger in a perpetual dream state, Caroline.
Good scary child. Good scary kid.
Maybe too scary.
Yeah, that's the problem. Poltergeist.
The house is clean.
Alrighty, this movie is directed by Toby Hooper. Like I said
Not
earlier,
Steven Spielberg. I was
not
mistaken.
Steven Spielberg. It's tricky because there's definitely Spielberg elements to the film.
Like
Why
his
that
name
is-
being all over the front credits.
Yeah, why that is because the story is by Steven Spielberg, and one of the few writing credits that you get from Steven Spielberg is from this movie as well.
Is it like a Tim Burton scenario where like he did everything except direct it?
And funny enough, there's a little bit of unverified that he like kind of took it over, because I think he even quoted like Toby Hooper wasn't really a leader
Up to the occasion.
so he kind of sounds like he just kind of just
I'm
stuffed
going
Toby
to
Hooper
defend
down.
Toby here on this one and be like, Steven Spielberg didn't think he was up to snuff, but I'm sure that there was a lot of micromanaging from his producing.
Jordan, I don't know if you
pedestal.
said this on air, but I think it is because like E.T. was going on like the same time.
Yeah.
So he had his fingers in a
had a
lot
full
of cookie
plate.
jars. Full plate. Also written by Michael Grace and Mark Victor. I think they went on to do at least the second one, maybe the third one.
Nice.
Yep. Music by Jerry Goldsmith. This guy, we've talked about him before.
We've talked
He's
to
done
him.
like Hoosiers, Gremlins.
Okay.
Just check out his IMDb.
Wait, yeah,
He's in
Gremlins.
everything.
Gremlins. That guy had a couple other things too, but I can't remember now off the top of my head. Yeah, go back and listen to Gremlins.
Turns out it was Poltergeist.
Air Force One. Oh, funny enough, I was just at Epcot Disney World. He did the music for Soarin'.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
cool.
Yep.
Oh. You know, the one ride at Epcot.
It is a creepy.
One of the two
yeah.
rides at Epcot.
Yeah.
They got the Wine and Cheese Festival, though, coming up, right? So that's sweet.
It's going on right now.
There you go.
Onto the cast. Craig T. Nelson plays Mr. Furling, Steve Furling.
Chris, give me what you got from him. Yeah, it's
You're going to know him from Coach.
Craig T.
your only note.
He's in The Incredibles. I can tell you that
Yeah, he's
much.
Mr. Incredible.
He's Mr.
And then
Incredible.
Coach. I never watched Coach, but he's
And
the,
Coach.
he's the
Coach is
main-
what I remember him from.
Coach was like late night reruns and when I was a kid and I would watch it. I really like
Yeah,
Coach.
you were a big fan, as I
Based off of Hayden Fry, loosely based off of Iowa Hawkeye coach Hayden Fry.
Really?
Maybe I'd like that then. Not
It's a
even
fun
because of the
fact.
Iowa.
Also, stay tuned for however many Christmases it takes this podcast to get to the Family Stone.
It's gonna be a while, bud.
Oh God damn it.
All right, well, stay tuned to that.
hate that movie.
Maybe it'll be a Christmas in July movie.
Sure, I could do that.
Jo Beth Williams plays Diane Freeling. The only thing I know her from, she's the mom from Jungle to Jungle. She's like the professor mom who's on the island.
Would not have recognized her from that.
You
But
wouldn't
yes.
have recognized
we
her
do-
there either.
We do 90s movies. We'll probably get to that eventually.
God, I love Jungle to Jungle.
I was going to say, Mark will be so happy.
I'm sure there's nothing problematic in that movie. I'm sure it depicts whatever culture he jungled from.
It's culturally accurate, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, cool. Then we'll do it.
On to the kids. We've got the oldest daughter, Dana Freeling. She's not much in after Poltergeist. I think there's maybe a couple things, and then
I'm pretty sure she's one of the actresses that died part of the curse.
I'll get into it unverified, but
we'll get into the
curse
moving forward.
There's a Poltergeist curse going on here. The younger brother, Oliver Robbins. Why'd I say CIMDb? I don't know why I said that. Do you guys remember?
Check out IMDb. Yeah.
No, it's usually a prompt for me to see like he's in a bunch of shit, but like it's almost just too much to. He's in a bunch of TV shit, I think.
Okay, he did a lot, but we don't know.
Heather O'Rourke, the creepy little girl. She's in the first Poltergeist.
Well, she also passed away.
She's all the way to
Happy
3.
Days.
She passed away.
She's all the way through
young.
3.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right, Jordan. I'm sorry. She's in 1, 2, and 3.
We'll get to her during the Poltergeist curse, which will just flood our unverified section.
Dr. Lesh, Beatrice Straight. She's in an Audrey Hepburn movie called The Nun Story, and that's really all that I thought was notable.
Don't know it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, with these
her.
older movies, this is kind of what it's going to be like. Michael McManus, Ben, the neighbor, he's just in a lot of TV stuff. Police Academy.
Mark, you say this, but my mom will be calling me later to tell me all about these people who we don't know.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
You don't know
This just isn't our wheelhouse necessarily.
Yeah.
Shout out, Mom.
Just kind of going down the line here of some notable ones that are kind of interesting. Martin Casella, which is the guy who gets his face ripped off by himself in the mirror.
Okay.
He's in RoboCop 2, and a funny little notable thing is he was the assistant to Steven Spielberg on the set for Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. He was just Steven Spielberg's assistant.
And he cast him as the guy that we're going to rip his face apart. I want to see that on celluloid.
Jeff, the guy who spills his beer at the beginning, or like the kids like fuck with him and he spills the beer, brings it into the house during the football game. Jeff.
Yeah.
He's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's the bald guy.
Oh wait, like the two the gross guys?
Yeah. So not the one with the kind of like the high
Crew
and tight cut, but the
okay, I know who you're talking about. Interesting.
He's Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Also in John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Oh, nice.
Tangina comes back for Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3. Richard Lawson. He's in All My Children. Well, that should be it for cast and crew. Anybody else, guys?
Let's move on to Unverified. Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. The date is June 4th, 1982, and currently in theaters this month, you could have seen The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing, E.T., with our boy Spielberg, Grease 2, which I'll make us do someday because we've done Grease 1 now.
Where does the pollen go?
Bump. Attack Force Z, some Mel Gibson movie. Hanky Panky, comedy with Gene Wilder. Firefox, some futuristic space thing with Clint Eastwood. Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. Blade Runner with Harrison Ford. But you chose Poltergeist.
A lot of good movies in the theater.
Pretty good movies.
Good little summer.
So should we just start with the curse?
I guess so.
Sure.
We were already talking about it. So famously, they used real skeletons in the pit at the end, and they did not tell the actors or actresses at the time until they were done. Supposedly, they didn't think fake ones would look real enough. So where do you get
I heard it was because it was cheaper.
Is this why the curse is a curse? Is this why it came to be?
That's the
it's
theory,
multifaceted,
yes.
but it has to be something.
Wow.
But I also saw that they're like, it might be too expensive to get fake bones. And I'm like, how
why is
cheap
that?
are real bones?
Where do you just find dead
Explain
rotting
yourself.
bodies? Yeah.
I've been watching the
Damn,
documentary.
they're free. You just got to dig them
Are you trying
up.
to tell me that a fake skeleton costs more than my skeleton?
I guess so.
Well, I know that you have to pay for fake bones, and you can dig up real bones. So
I
there
pre-sell
you go.
my skeleton.
But going into the curse, Heather O'Rourke, the youngest daughter in the movie, she died at the age of 12 of intestinal stenosis. I mean, hers goes a lot deeper than that. She kind of had a pretty bad deteration.
She had a cardiac arrest at school lunch.
Yeah, 2 cardiac
I mean, that
arrests,
Cameron,
I believe.
whatever your scientific name for that
Well,
was.
It was because
but
she had
she
an
had a heart attack
infection.
at school, which is crazy.
Dominique Dunn or Dunn, Dana. Jesus, I'm failing here.
So that the first one was Carol Ann, and the second one is Dana, the oldest daughter.
Dana, the oldest daughter. She was stabbed to death, I believe, by an ex-boyfriend. Strangled to death. Sorry. Now I'm confusing this with 5 days after that, at the age of 22, Lou Perryman, who plays Pugsley, possibly in a different one, was killed with an axe by a 26-year-old man named Seth Christopher Tuttom. Apart from just these people who were part of the main cast on these movies, there's also been crew that have gotten sick and died as well, I believe. So, it goes also just... there's a lot of people getting sick and dying.
Jordan, in our generation, we call this the Madden curse. They just have a bad season of football.
This is the Madden curse. But I'll tell you what, can't take down Craig T. Nelson. I'll tell you that much.
Sure can't.
Went through unscathed. Speaking of Craig T. Nelson, let's talk about the husband, Stephen, and the wife's character. Sure. So in the movie, you're going to see the wife's Stephen talking to his boss or somebody about, we had Diana 16 and my wife's 32 and I'm 33. So they did the math. We all did the math that means that they had their first kid, then we're 16.
Teen
Is
mom
everybody
situation.
with me on that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Math.
Which, honestly, I kind of liked watching the movie from that
we were like,
perspective.
oh, she's a teen mom. Good for her.
She's a teen mom. But it turns out that...
okay. Yeah, go on.
So it turns out this is Steve's second marriage. That's not explained in the movie, but the source material, the novel, explains that.
We should just know, is what you're saying.
Yeah, which assumes.
Yeah, they definitely don't explain that in the movie, though. Correct? We're all thinking that she had her first kid when she's 16.
Yeah, no.
I was definitely doing the math as well. Didn't and I just I nodded my head as just she's an accomplished teen mom.
It's the 80s.
It's 1982, and that's what happens. But it's not that she was a teen mom; it's that he would have been like 21, and that's the weird part.
Yeah, definitely a little weird there. I have a kind of something that we've alluded to earlier is that E.T. was also in theaters at the time, and Drew Barrymore was actually considered for the role of Carol Ann originally, but the producer Steven Spielberg wanted to have someone more angelic. But it was Barrymore's audition.
I don't think he found her, but sure.
Well, she's somewhat angelic, but creepy.
DB would have been a good cast. I mean, that's chalk.
Landed her the role in E.T. So,
I think so.
I think so. I think it worked out better for her.
Steven Spielberg saw the actor that played Carol Ann at like the Universal lot when he was having lunch. She was with her parents. He's like, I'm gonna cast that person and curse her
with her
good.
mother and sister on the set of MGM or on the MGM studios.
Was she just like a patron, or was she like doing?
Oh yes, I saw that.
She was just with her mom, and then Steven Spielberg saw her on the lot and was like, "You should audition for this movie."
Right?
I think anytime you hear a story, this is how somebody got cast. A producer saw my kid eating lunch. I'm like, I don't like that.
How long?
The full thing is
her mannerisms
so the
were
first
amazing.
audition, she was supposed to be afraid, but she kept giggling throughout her whole audition. So Steven Spielberg told her to come back, but this time bring a scary story. And he asked her to scream, and she screamed until she started crying, and that's what got her the role, apparently.
Huh. That's fascinating.
As long as we're on Spielberg, Time Magazine dubbed the summer of '82 as the Spielberg summer because this film E.T. And E.T. were released a week apart from one another. What I thought was kind of cool is that they re-released it, I think, to theaters in October to kind of capitalize on the Halloween.
Nice.
Halloween weekend or whatever. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Also on that, Poltergeist special effects and score were both nominated for Oscars that year, but they lost to Steven Spielberg for E.T. So no matter what, he came out a winner that year. So that's
he said, "Suck it, Toby."
Yeah, sucks to be like part of the crew of Poltergeist, knowing that his passion project probably was E.T. that whole time. Chris was talking about that. I know this has come up before, but the rating on this movie and how it got there. Chris, take it away.
So this movie was originally given an R rating, but the filmmakers protested and got to have a PG rating, which is crazy to me because PG-13 didn't exist at the time.
This movie is kind of what brought along the PG-13.
It's two Spielberg's ones. This was a big one, and then Temple of Doom. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was another one that was a PG, or it might have been the first PG-13 rating. They're like, we need something in the middle, guys. It can't just be this or that, right? There's got to be something else.
We can't just be letting kids into these murder movies.
Yeah.
So when Robbie is being strangled by the clown arms in that scene, he cries out, "I can't breathe." And Steven Spielberg thought he was just improvising and ad-libbing, but then he started turning purple, so Spielberg ran over to him and had to remove the clown arms from his neck. And kind of on the similar thing, Heather O'Rourke said that the only thing that she was scared about while filming the movie was the scene where she was hanging on the bedpost and in the air with the fan. Apparently that...
You mean a third of her screen time?
Yeah, but apparently that she was like actually crying, and then Steven had to rush in and like hug her and then promised they got it. We got the shot. We won't do this again.
We're good. But we do have 2 more scenes just like this, so I hope you're ready for those.
So gear up and get in the harness. This one does have a million facts.
Yeah, it does have so many.
But
we can go on about it.
This is
do yourself a favor, watch whatever documentary, watch whatever YouTube channel is, read about the curse. That's the fun stuff.
Because now we're going to tell you our opinions on it. Let's move on to questions,
comments,
and animosities.
Questions, comments, animosity.
Welcome to Question, Comment, Animosity. Comment. Thank God TV's on all night now, huh? There's not just patriotic send-off, but I can just choose. I mean, there's a lot of problems with streaming, but thank God TV's on all the time.
True that. But also, kind of love the nostalgic factor of a national anthem playing at the end of the night. We know we're in America. God bless us, everyone.
What the fuck was he watching? What was
that was confusing. So that's just how they signed off the TV.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we're shutting these off.
Yeah, when TV just ended their national broadcast, they'd be like, and here's the just the end of TV for the night.
That's not common
that was
knowledge.
A question. No, that was a question that Megan and I had.
Yeah, it's like how kids now just don't know what portable
because there's
TV
only
players
like
are.
a couple channels, So whatever time of night they just were like, we're done. Good night.
Now is that how everybody signed off? They're like, hey, hit the national anthem. It's time to go to bed.
At least
Shut
the channel
off.
he was on,
Oh, okay. So you guys came to that conclusion yourselves.
Really,
like, this is the end.
The remake, the 2015 remake, should have just done like the DVD, like play screen of like
that'd actually be a good.
That would have been.
That'd be a good way. Going on loop and then glitching.
Yeah,
that's scary. Just question: what do you do when your kids are clearly talking to spirits and being creepy? What do you do, Jordan? What are you going to do if your son is just clear? Well, like clearly the TV.
You got to start there. You got to start somewhere, and it's turn off the TV.
Yeah, Jordan, watch it.
Turn off the TV.
Don't let it happen. Don't encourage it to happen.
So here's the deal. You're definitely gonna, if your kids are talking to spirits, you're not gonna react right away, right? Because you're like, these kids don't know shit. But what I'm not going to do is make a circle in my kitchen, put my kid in the middle of it, and let that spirit drag it back and forth till my spouse gets home.
Happy. She was like genuinely like, oh my stars, our family's being affected by a poltergeist. Like they were happy about it at the beginning.
She didn't know it was a poltergeist. It could have been a friendly spirit, but you don't dick around with it.
She just popped like an old plastic St. Louis Rams helmet and just let her slide across the kitchen floor.
Can I rewind real quick?
They were smoking a doobie beforehand. They might not be the best parents.
Ooh, I like to use doobie.
They're the coolest, though. They're rad.
80s is doobie.
They were super cool parents.
Yeah, they're definitely teenage parents.
Yeah, at least teenage mom. But, go back to our unverified. All right, you want to go back?
I had an early animosity that really had nothing to do with the movie, but more just a comment. Real dick move bringing all those spraying beers into the house. What is that guy
actually,
doing?
let me even rewind a second. First off, that guy biking the beers, you just run over those toy cars. You don't. That shouldn't be a problem. Never should have fallen.
Yeah.
Number 2, he left a ton of beers behind.
Yep.
And then number 3, he sprayed everybody with that beer. And then number 4, he says, "What did I miss?" He just biked to go get beer and came back. You missed the third quarter, dude. We can't look at the score.
Can we assume that he has a DUI of some kind?
You're at quickest a 10-minute. Bike right away.
Yeah, easy. It's either DUI or just already too drunk to drive, but no one's going to pull me over on a bike. It's the 80s.
Nobody cared in the 80s.
Yeah, so I think it's a little
So I actually do have an animosity about the bear spilling. It sprayed for an absurd amount of time.
Yeah,
so much.
Movie magic amount of time.
I'd
like to get
maybe that was my
Mythbusters.
animosity. It was just like, guy, you're not getting the message. Your beer's going everywhere. And
it's like it's as big as this play is. Everybody, you're ruining everybody's fourth quarter,
right?
Or the rest of this game. We're all spritzed.
The couch is soaked.
Yeah, what was he eating there? Was it chili?
And we know that's definitely, if it's 1982, that cloth couch. that just absorbs the shit out of it.
It's smelling like that for a while.
Question: do you flush a bird? Is that what you do with a bird body?
That's what she wanted to do with it.
Can toilets in the 80s take a bird carcass?
Oh no. No, they absolutely can't.
You just reminded me of one of my so about the birds. So then they have this nice proper burial,
great burial.
But it's definitely, if anybody ever found that box.
Oh, I did say that to Chris. Imagine like the neighbor, just someone in the future, like finding a box with a bird skeleton, a picture of a family, and a wilted rose inside of it, and like,
that's a curse.
That's a curse. Someone definitely put a curse on this property.
Yeah, but you're gonna get a blanket of coverage with a full cemetery's body still there. So you're like, whatever.
That's
weird
true.
place.
They're probably
weird place going on here.
Hopefully, no one else moved there.
Okay, here's some as long as we're at the beginning. I don't like the cat call that the pool workers are giving to that 16-year-old daughter.
I was going to say that.
And I like it even less that the mom's just like, oh boys.
Those guys.
And then very 80s.
Guys.
Very 80s.
Coffee's hot, get it while it's good.
Yeah, well then he crosses another boundary. He's like leaning in, eating their food, drinking coffee.
Yeah,
like,
who is this guy?
Like, I get that it's like maybe part of construction crew he's like a husband's friend, but that makes it even worse that they're catcalling my 16-year-old daughter. You know who that is.
I don't like that cat.
I took it more as she can hold her own. The mom is a little proud that she's gonna be all right. She gave him the bird.
Yeah, she's
I did respect the finger. That was some fun stuff.
Yeah.
We did say it a second ago, but just comment. I always do forget that the parents are kind of just cool pot smoking hippies in this, and they're kind of fun. Also, I will say they're very wasteful of all the greenery on that bed.
I was about to say Steve is spilling pot all over the bedspread.
Yeah,
but they're just very open with it about the kids. They're coming in, and she takes one more pull and then puts it out to be like, "Come here,
Daddy, what's that smell?"
Was that also a little risque for 82? I feel like
it feels like it is.
At least for a PG movie. For a PG movie.
Well, it was rated R.
I assume.
So I think with Mark, I agree that it's the California experience that it's okay. You get a pass or something. Oh, I do have this question. I'm talking with doobie smokers, on the other sides of these cameras. Sure. They rolled definitely 2 joints. Is that a little too much for a nightcap?
Dude, he was just swaggy weed.
Okay, you're just saying it was 1982. It was less potent. You need a couple spliffs.
Yeah, it's just brick weed they're smoking. I imagine.
Okay. That checks.
Question to you guys now: how would you have gone about looking for help in a time without the internet? Or the Travel Channel and their spooky broadcasting to know these things? Like, how did they find that original doctor and/or?
Well, I think they made the right choice, the 100% by not going to any authorities.
How much?
Because I'll tell you what, if we start poking behind doors, one missing kid is not going to be the end of their problem.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, but there are questions with that though. Like, how long is Carol Ann missing?
Yeah,
it seems
before
like
they get in contact,
days, but it seems weeks. It feels like
I think we're about a work week. Based on how Steve's boss reacts.
Yeah, that's true. It's at least 1 week.
So you've been out for whatever. Nobody's seen your kid.
So these paranormal investigators are local. Then by how quick they got
in
there,
the 80s. Once you go through the yellow pages, where's your next step?
Yeah, that's what I was asking. I don't know. What do you do?
You don't have forums or like a Reddit board that you can go to.
I mean, I would go to my church. The Satanic Panic was big at the time, so I'd be asking for help with that.
I like that they didn't go to the church or the authorities. Did they show how we got Dr. Lesh?
She just kind of
involved. She's just kind of there, right?
Yeah, well, all of a sudden it's them being like, we've tried everything. We haven't gone to the cops though. That is risky.
I will say this though. It's been a bit since I've seen this movie, so in the rewatch, I didn't realize how quickly things get going.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty much we're smoking a doobie, and then that night 1, we're dealing with a closet situation here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we lose Carol Ann like right away.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. So what's the son's name? I forget.
Robbie,
I think.
So he's obviously terrified by this clown. Why does he just let it just be there at the foot of his bed?
Yeah.
That's not on Robbie.
Yeah.
That's not on Robbie. That's on Steve and Diane. That's on Steve and Diane for even buying the damn thing.
That's true.
True, but he has a choice.
Yeah, I mean, the lights are on. You got to push that in the closet or something. You don't just drape it in a terrifying sheet that'll move in the wind and like. No,
well, he's having issues, Robbie. He's scared of trees. He's scared of just
that
plants.
Tree is scary.
He's scared of lightning.
Tree is scary, and I don't know if I'm speaking just on behalf of myself, but Cameron and I shared a room growing up when we were young. We had a big old tree outside our house,
it was a little creepy.
Our window, and I did not like that because of this movie. It really affected me.
I was also not a fan of that tree when I was younger, or just looking out the window late at night.
The tree. Can I talk about the tree scene?
Just close the blinds. Close the blinds. That's just it.
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
Also, close the blinds.
Pretty sure.
I didn't like the dad's whole like excuses to like why he was like it's a old important. It's a clearly dead tree.
He was stoned out of his gourd. Chris.
Mark,
He was
in
stoned
his
out of his
defense, he
gourd.
just had. Sorry, Chris. He just had 2 joints.
Yeah, he's not thinking straight. He's like,
He's
I'm
trying
not
to put
dealing.
his kid.
He's like, shut up and go to bed. We're not dealing with the old tree tonight.
I just smoked my bedtime joints, and I'm gonna go feel up your mom. Go to bed. The tree's the tree. It's gonna be there tomorrow.
I'm not thinking
like that it
about
was
how
like
much
a
it's going to cost to
tobacco-
cut down this tree.
Like a cigar box, like a normal stoner would like put like their shit in, you know?
Yeah,
Because I was like, wait, are they rolling just like some spliffs right now?
Do you want a side note thing that just I don't think we miss it societally? Carpet in the bathrooms and brass beds.
Ooh, yeah.
just a bad idea.
Don't like them at all.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Yeah, especially if you're going to have so much paranormal activity and get goo everywhere. It's just going to absorb all of your carpet
the
in,
goo
the
in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, that ectoplasm is very similar to Ghostbusters, but
Only ectoplasm I want in the bathroom is my own.
Hello.
Me too. I want Mark's
It's a sperm
ectoplasm
joke.
everywhere.
Thanks, Mark.
Oh.
Just question going back. How
got
long
it.
do you go if your Carol Ann disappears before you have to call the cops, or do you just try to?
They try to cover it up, kind
Yeah,
of.
even when the boss is like, "Haven't seen your daughter," or "You guys around in a while? Everything
"Oh,
okay over there?"
Everything's fine.
I don't
You guys
think
are
my
going to
neighbors
fucking
would
Casey
notice.
Anthony this situation? Sweeping
Well, I
around.
think I definitely think his boss was sniffing around for that type of situation, but he has his own type of crimes that are obviously going on. So he's
But the boss was like, "Hey, you don't got to tell me if you murdered your daughter. Are you gonna?
Are you coming in
sign-
on Tuesday?
Are you
Really
gonna be a
important
partner
to us.
or
We
what?"
don't want to lose you.
Can I say that's one of my bigger animosities of the whole film is like, I know it's the 80s, but I don't think you can just like demolish or build over a cemetery. I think there's some permit rules you got to go.
Oh, there's definitely
sign,
people
like-
who are going to be checking, stuff. Well, there's a couple things on that. Another animosity. He's like, "How would you like this spot? Right here on this graveyard hill, this really old cemetery. Like the
They
angle
pan
they're
to the
giving
left and
us.
it's-
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah." And then number 2, if that's just what's left,
That
of
was
the,
a real Shaun of the Dead. Like we were exposed to the graveyard that was completely in shot. If they would have just shown us the whole
Right,
terrain.
right.
Like it wasn't hiding.
No.
They just
It was
panned
about
left.
3 acres of graveyard.
And then
Yeah.
number 2, if that's just what's left of the graveyard, and you're telling me that whole valley is just graves, how big was this massive old graveyard?
Burial
He
site,
would
yeah.
know of that thing's existence.
So I'm not defending the boss, but I am questioning Steve. You dug up a lot of foundations here. You ran into bones. This is obviously the first Poltergeist situation.
Yeah.
And portal into the unknown, but there's definitely been bones.
Yeah,
like that's had
especially
to come up.
They're
a
popping up from a
bunch.
rain at the end. Granted, maybe some evil dark magic poltergeist
Yeah,
stuff, but
yeah.
you're telling me you didn't hit any other bodies?
Yeah. Here's a quote I love from the movie. Mark, give me but you didn't bury. You gotta unbury the body. What's he saying?
You moved the headstones, but you didn't
Cameron's got
move
this
the
one.
bodies. You didn't move the bodies. You
And the
didn't
guy's
move
like-
the. It goes on.
He
The boss though is like, are you gonna be a partner or not? Yeah, the bodies are still there.
We're
like,
skipping a
my
little to the
bad
end,
on the
but
bodies.
there's got to be some legality problems with that house just disappearing into thin air, like contracts, mortgages, banks. People are wanting to know, police, what happened to that piece of land.
This is
It's
this
funny
is
from
definitely
Cameron's
gonna get.
perspective, just like closing on a house from just like no, that's there's gonna have to be people that
they're
you gotta
fucked
answer
on
to.
payments still. I mean, like they're gonna own so much on that house that doesn't exist anymore.
I guarantee this is getting chalked up as a gas leak. There's no way that you're gonna. There's no way. I mean, I think there'll be some legality problems with the bodies unless they blow
Oh
up
yeah,
in
it
the gas
seems like
leak.
the owner is gonna serve some jail time probably after this.
Here's the real question I have. So now that we're at a certain age where we're in home ownership / renting, how long before you move? You get out of there right away, right?
Oh, as soon as
things turns dark.
Yeah, I'm just crashing at Mark's place until we find out how to get the spirits out.
So okay,
Or we burn
unfortunately in this scenario, they have Carol Ann stuck in the in the afterlife
Okay.
or wherever she's at,
And
right?
we're trying to get
so
Carol-
once
okay, yeah.
once they do get her back,
Oh, big animosity.
They really take their time there.
Yeah, they're slowly moving. Well, these spirits are like she says they're gone now.
The house has been cleaned, which I love that she definitely lied
Yeah,
about.
does
it.
she not have any like money back guarantee? Because she did not deliver.
Hey man, this was like her first time dealing with some heavy shit like this. She's never, seen this.
So I assume, Cameron, you may have more expertise in this because you watch more ghost-related shows.
Yes, it's
but
Chris. We got two experts on right now.
sorry, all these people are in speculation until they're really hit in the face with it, right?
Oh, yeah. By the way, I do love those two guys that are just eating all their food all the time and just like chilling.
Marty.
There.
Marty just pulled out like a ribeye steak, helping himself to a ribeye steak.
He takes a steak. That is ballsy.
That's an animosity.
Yeah.
And
Middle
this
of the
family's
night, too.
obviously
Middle of
going
the
through
night.
it.
I gotta make a steak.
Yeah, and if it's laying out in the fridge, that means someone was defrosting that and preparing it for tomorrow, or somebody was like marinating.
Megs and I were watching.
Nice
I'm
steak.
like,
It was?
did he? Oh yeah, it was red. It was juicy. I'm like, how is he gonna cook this? Gets out a pan. This guy's about to fry a steak in there and just smell up
You know
their
those
house.
dog toys
Rude.
that like are a steak, and they're like, that red and white marbly.
Yeah,
like,
look
looking
perfect.
Steak. Like
Oh,
it was a
beautiful.
perfect looking steak.
That was a beautiful piece of meat.
I got an 80s animosity comment for you. They just send that little boy by himself in a taxi alone with a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
They don't even as parents, a lot's going on, so I know they're under distress. They don't even walk him to the taxi.
No.
They just watch from the porch.
thought
They're
that
like,
was
you
funny.
got it, Bobby. Ain't nothing going wrong now. I don't even know what happens to their oldest daughter,
she's been at
Diana.
her
We
friend
just
Tiffany's this whole time. And animosity, if I'm her
She's
parents
useless.
and this
She was just
hysterical
gone.
girl's always coming to my house and bringing maybe some of that with me, you can't come over. I heard your house is getting real weird.
You're no longer welcome here.
Yeah, no, you got to.
now, if you go to the source material, she's first wife kid, so nobody gives a shit about her.
Well, so
I mean,
I guess
the
that's
real
an
mom doesn't.
animosity.
Dahmer
is
situation.
What does she add to the movie?
That's true. Her character isn't really there much other than.
Oh, that sweet cat calling that we got to see by the pool workers.
Funny enough, Chris, good point. She was
Just
like the
letting us know what we're doing.
the last person that I recast because I'm like, is it even worth it?
Yeah.
I do have a question. So once the family finally pulls out after the house implodes into the nether regions or wherever it is, I swear to God that they pull out without her in the car, the oldest sister, daughter, and then she's in the car later.
No, they yell at one part, get in, whatever your
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is.
they
'cause
pick
she's-
her up.
She's there just screaming, what's happening?
Did she get
'Cause
in,
again,
though?
She's
Okay,
getting back from
I
Tiffany's
did
thinking
okay.
everything's cool.
Now I feel like I got to rewatch it now that Jordan says that because I remember being like, wait a second. I know that they were implying that they picked her up, but did I see her get in the car? I don't know.
I don't think she got in the car. She definitely was in the car later when we were pulling up to the motel.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
definitely got
whatever.
like it's Grandpa Simpson. We forgot him again. You know, we went back and we got him, but you know, we're all at the hotel in the end.
The dog knows what's up. It left even
dog-
with Robbie.
They always
The
know
dog
what's
kn-
up.
The dog
Dogs
knows.
always know
But
what's up. They can
just-
sense a storm and a poltergeist.
Any spirits, I believe. Just to reiterate, though, they do stay in that house way too long after they
Way
get
too
Carol
long.
Ann back. Like, you don't take the time
I
to get
was
a moving
impressed,
truck.
though.
You just you get out.
Well, the most annoying thing, it does seem like they were moving pretty quick. So I'm like, okay, get your stuff, get out. We think we're okay. But then Steve goes to work.
Yep.
And he comes back, it seems like, I'll be in and out. It looks like 12 hours later. His mom takes a bath. The mom takes a bath and just
Irresponsible.
leaves those kids in the suck room, the suck closet again. It's like everything is just
that was so
fine.
traumatic. We're never using that room again. I'm not leaving my kids out of my sight in this house until
Yeah,
we're out
at
of
least
here.
at least for days/weeks until I feel.
You're,
Oh, Robbie,
staying,
honey,
you're
let's
staying
keep-
with everybody.
Let's keep that clown up for just a little. Let's not pack that up just yet. You love the clown.
It strangled. It strangled him.
One of the most messed up
Well,
things, they
here's-
took it with them to the next house still.
No,
yeah, that cl-
yeah, it does show. I believe it shows up in the second
I was
one.
just
Really? I
joking.
haven't seen the
It's
second
there.
one.
Oh wow.
No, here's the craziest thing. Okay, I assumed that this shouldn't be too long of a move because at least 2 upstairs room got all sucked into that closet and taken away to wherever the poltergeist came from. But nope, they reset up the room. They put that little chair and they're like, "Hey, let's get that clown back up." I know Robbie's
Let's
gonna
get it
love
facing
going to
right
bed
at
with
him.
this.
Yeah, the 2 twin beds are gone, but we just bought 2 new ones from Serta.
Yeah. They definitely reset up a room with new stuff right before they moved.
Yeah,
I
just
not
maybe
moving
get
in
out
the
and buy new
house.
stuff there. That's probably the
And
solution.
I mean, even Mr. Freeling was like, he was hurting his back, moving boxes. I thought they were trying to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Nah, they're just
Rate
cleaning
of play,
it up.
rate of play, rate of play. Like I thought we were getting in and getting out. And then on top of that, so the mom's like, I'm gonna take a bath. And then after like we've got poltergeist are back or they never left, she takes I think an unnecessary. She shouldn't even be by the pool. I know she's trying to get her neighbor, but that whole her falling into the pool, it's unnecessary, and I blame her.
Well,
I
a
blame
little.
her for that whole.
She's
I
trying
think
to get
when
help. She's out of the house by that point. She can't open the door.
It's
is
the
problem.
80s. You can't reliably call anyone.
So the first moment
That's true.
when she's like, when they're looking for Carol Ann and they can't find her anywhere, and she's like, "Oh fuck, the pool! I told you about the pool." She goes, he goes and dives in the pool. How big is that deep end? He goes underwater.
Yeah, he does disappear kind of.
Is that a 20-foot deep end? It just goes from 5 foot to like.
It also seems like just like a mud pit.
At the beginning, they are joking that
might check for pools. Any pool I remember back in the day, there was no gradual.
Yeah.
It was shallow to deep.
That was a great point, Jordan, and I missed it.
That one actually checks.
I feel like pools used to have deep ends. You don't see it anymore.
And if you do remember, at the beginning of the movie, he's talking about getting a diving board in to go back to his diving days, so maybe he needs a little extra depth.
Sure, okay. Point taken.
But I guess what I'm saying, it's not all aquatic center life that we grew up with, or whatever kids have now. It was just shallow
to death. Dangerous.
Just dropped into like a quarry type situation. Watering hole, real deep. Couldn't see the bottom. Having that said, if it was that deep, you would definitely
hit a
maybe
skeleton.
You would get a lot of skeletons. It seems like, unless they were just under the surface.
Harvesting implements, the tools have dug up some skeletons already.
Something.
Yeah, you would think so. Oh, I do have a question. This one actually confused me, and it turns out I kind of figured it out. Was all the jewelry that we were finding dropping through the ceiling? Was that the skeletons in their house? Was that what we were dealing with?
He didn't recognize.
I didn't know where that jewelry was coming from.
I thought it was I thought it was just coming from their house. Like they were looking for the portal and where it was coming from. It was the closet.
But it was.
Can I give a favorite movie that the line reading that I wasn't prepared for, but that I really like? Sure. When the mom's about to go in.
Yes, I know what you're about to say here.
Yeah.
This part's actually funny.
What's her name? What's our little gal's name?
Caroline. Tangerina.
Yeah, Tangerina's like, I'm gonna go in. Give me the rope, and then the mom or the dad's like, "You've never done this before, Mark. Give it to me."
Neither have you. And then she's like,
"You're right.
Well,
you go in."
You're right.
That was fucking funny.
I like that lady. Good call. She's like, good call.
There was another point like that. I think it was Ryan who was talking about I've seen some shit. Like there's a little Matchbox car rolled across the floor, pretty crazy. And then they open the door to fucking Carol Ann's room, and shit's going fucking crazy, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, I like that. Craig T. Nelson's just super casual about it too. Like, here you go, buddy.
Yeah, here you
Check
go.
this out.
Check this shit out.
They're too passive's not the right thing. So they do get the poltergeist. They're real casual about the situation, especially when the mom's talking to Dr. Lesh. It's like, hey,
we're just having some drinks in the living room.
Yeah.
I love even the way the doctor says, "I'm terrified," then takes a pull.
Oh yeah, that's her.
Yeah. She's like, I don't need a cup. I brought my own.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I got my own.
I travel.
I'd totally like to get you some fucking joints, but we're bone dry since our kid's closet sucked out all our supply.
Oh, I just had one thing. Just once they meet Tangerine, just can I get you some tea, some throat coat, or oh, that's your voice. Oh shit. You don't need the cough drop. Got it.
I love that lady.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's been in anything else. She killed everything she's ever been in. She was by far the hardest person to recast.
Oh, for sure.
I think.
Yeah, apparently there was a scene in Casper where they're supposed to she was supposed to be in a little spot where they kind of nod to this character.
It's the cameos at the beginning when they're all coming in to see the house, and we have the Ghostbusters.
Right. And she's supposed to be like, "Don't go to the light," and they nixed it.
Yeah, very confusing messaging there too. They're like, "Go to the light, don't go to the light."
Go to the light, yeah.
Oh, she totally just ran
Come
straight
on.
to the light. Yeah, that's very confusing.
Yeah.
There's two things that I do want to say. One, this is a really good early Halloween movie. Get you in the spirit. It got me to be like, maybe I'll try some more scary movies now. It's not too much. What's fun is it is.
Movie, though, is it?
No, it's not at all Halloween movie, but it's a scary movie. It's creepy enough and spooky enough that it set me in the mood.
It plays all year
I think
round.
it's in this. I think it's in the sweet spot of it's truly a PG-13 movie, so it's just scary enough where you're like, oh, it's a little spooky.
It's 80s PG, actually. It was supposed to be
yeah.
R.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys talked about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
okay. I think I'm on better Wi-Fi right now. Sorry about that.
You're good.
Earlier, but
hey, I'm just happy that it's not me holding everybody up for the first time
fuck
in a
off.
while. And one last thing. Do you guys remember the "We're Here" being way, way further on in the movie?
I thought it was
Or
at
They're
the
Here?
end of the movie when no.
I thought it was at least the second time, but no, it's right away.
Right there.
Right off the bat.
What was your guys' favorite? I don't know if I want to say effect or scene or scare. What was your favorite part of the movie? Maybe
The most 80s part of the movie is when he rips his face off.
I was gonna say that too, maybe.
Yeah.
The meat scene is good. I actually liked. For me, it's when Diane towards the end is kind of getting drug across the walls and the ceiling. I thought
that is some fun
I thought
effects.
they did that pretty seamlessly.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It feels very 80s when we actually see the poltergeist really yell at everybody in the face. Like that type of visual effect.
The big devil head coming out. It was the beast.
That feels like Indiana Jones.
Very like Ghostbustery kind of too.
Ghostbusters.
It was a big real head that came out of the closet. It was a real practical effect.
Yeah, but they had to like shoot it underwater probably.
I do love
like,
a practical effect.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, it's good. After everything settles down, when the Bobby, what's the son's name?
Robbie.
When Robbie gets taken, I'm like, I don't even feel that bad. I don't like that kid at all. Take him into the TV too. Take everybody in the TV. Oh, and a little animosity, a little too much heavy-handed on the Star Wars figurines. I get it.
He's a fan.
We're all
at the time.
Okay,
it was a big movie, Jordan.
Okay,
There's like an
that
alien
checks.
poster,
Okay,
too.
that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Let us know if there's anything in particular we missed about the movie you wish we would have talked about, but we're gonna move it on to recasting. Recasting. How low'd you go? Mark, I think you went a little lower than me. Give me your randos.
Did you guys have the boss man?
No, I didn't.
Nope.
Christopher Walken.
Okay. Interesting. Give me Catch Me If You Can, Martin Sheen. I'm gonna go Martin Sheen.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
Two mice fell in a bucket of cream.
Where are you going?
If you're doing walking, I'm
someplace
just doing the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Let's move it on to let's do Ryan and Marty, the two paranormal investigators. I'm just gonna do mine as a group. I did Anthony Michael Hall as the guy with the mustache that tears his face off, and I just wanted a Samuel Jackson from like Jurassic Park kind of in there.
So we're still not bald, but with hair, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yep.
Cigarette dangling as long as could be.
Oh yeah,
That's Samuel L. Jackson.
With the mustache. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Everybody, hold on to your butts. Okay.
I did Domhnall Gleeson.
Ooh, I like that.
And my Ryan was Theo Huxtable, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Okay, I like that.
Go for that. How about Dana, the daughter who's mostly at her friend's house?
Oh, I actually had this one. I had what's her name? Oh, it's Tracy Gold from Growing Pains, the sister on Growing Pains.
I don't know. I don't know well enough, but I know.
Chris, I like that.
I did.
I went
strictly on looks.
I went chalk. I'm going to get it out of here. I went Jennifer Connelly.
Okay, we bring her up
Very
quite a
looks
bit.
like. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of. Honestly, I don't like my casting much this week, but I did Winona Ryder.
Okay.
I did Winona Ryder as well, Cameron. So we're on the same page there.
Pew.
Like a younger Winona Ryder.
She's
looks like
Winona
during
Ryder
the times.
needs more credit than this character got.
How about
so far?
How about Robbie? I'm gonna throw mine away because I don't like it. The son. I did Sean Astin, just a young Sean Astin, younger maybe than I've seen him. I don't know.
I did the youngest Corey Feldman you can get.
Oh, I thought about it just because it'd be kind of funny.
Yeah,
I did one of the Culkin kids. The
Kieran,
not Kieran.
Kieran?
What's the one from Signs?
Yeah, that's
one. The one I was
Nobody
thinking.
knows his name, but we know who you're talking about.
Funny enough, I did think about doing Mark Haim to your Corey Feldman, or your Corey Haim to your Corey Feldman. Go on, Mark. Sorry.
Yeah.
I went Michael Paul Lookinlind, which is just Bobby Brady.
Okay.
I actually like that the most.
Yeah, I like that
I
too.
also made a side note. Any kid from Bad News Bears.
Yeah, that works.
The
for me, too.
original. Just any one of them.
It's the hair thing you're reading into.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah, could have been any of them.
How about Tangia?
So hard.
Guys, this was the hardest one because I honestly think
I didn't
she's
have one, but I'll
recastable.
come up with off the cuff.
Here's the closest I think I could get. It's not a voice, but I gave you Tilda Swinton.
Weird. I get where you're coming from.
Right?
Weirdness.
I didn't even know where to come from, so I'm not happy with that, but that's what I got. What'd you guys do?
I have such a random one, and I don't know if this is allowed. Do you guys remember Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Do you remember the reoccurring character Sardo? He's a man.
Of course I do.
That's who I'm recasting.
Okay.
I love it.
I'll take it. I like that.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a weird one. Here's what I thought. All right, I went Linda Hunt. You're gonna know her from our most notable recent episode. She's the principal in Kindergarten Cop. She's that little lady.
Okay. All right.
But I also went real life Truman Capote.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure that's the closest we could
For
get to
voice
her.
and size? Okay.
Real life Truman Capote.
I like it.
Danny DeVito, I don't fucking
I thought about that. That felt That was a body double. I get it. And I definitely thought about that.
He did the stunts.
He would really kill that line. No, you're right. You go in.
Dr. Lesh, this is the only one I like, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh.
Yeah, we got all right.
Recast
So
somebody else.
You're the mom.
Yeah, that's.
I respect that. I like that.
Cameron.
I like my Dr. Lesh. I don't know if anybody will recognize her. Her name's Haley Mills. She played Miss Bliss on the early Saved by the Bells. She's the teacher.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
And that's actually pretty solid.
I can't exactly remember what she looks like, but yeah, I'll take it. Miss Bliss.
She looks pretty close to this.
Is she one of the original? Yeah, she's one of the original Parent Trap girls.
Oh yeah, there you go. She is. Well, she's both of them.
Sure.
Oh, they did that back then? Got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan, got it.
So
got
her,
it.
she's also the Parent Trap girl. The original.
Mirrors is how they did that.
Yeah. I'm going Angela Lansbury.
Oh, okay. I like that actually a lot.
I can go with that. How about Carol Ann? Hear me out. A very pale, haunting Dakota Fanning.
Damn it!
We all went Dakota Fanning. I wrote it down myself.
The best young blonde actress we could think of, other than her sister.
I was also thinking, I forget her name now, but the girl from the live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh, that little Cindy Lou Who.
Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah.
I literally said that when she
actually-
came. I'm like, this is fucking Cindy Lou Who.
Yeah, she gave me that vibe.
I can go with that.
I mean, like, it sucks when you read the casting What Ifs on accident, and you're like, that's just.
Yeah.
I came across the Drew
Drew
Barrymore.
It's Drew Barrymore.
I mean, obviously, it would have been like the same Drew Barrymore for E.T.
Yep. E.T.
But I like that
That's why I
better.
tried to
'cause this
stick away from, like, E.T..
The Carol Ann actor
She was
really creeps me
unlikable.
out. I don't like it.
She was unlikable.
And the straight bangs. the
R.I.P.
straight
guys.
bangs is tough.
Let's not besmirch her. Maybe Jesus Christ, she's
Yeah.
like 12.
I'm not talking that she deserved to
I'm
die.
not saying I didn't like her, Cameron.
Yeah, I just didn't like the character. She seemed like a fine lady.
Moving on to Diane, the mom. I've never used her. Sharon Stone.
Okay, I like that. See, I'm with.
Va-va-boom.
I did Cameron's Sigourney Weaver, but I think Cameron forgets how hot Sigourney
I'm
Weaver
using
was
Sigourney
in the 80s.
Weaver now.
I know.
I'm not using 80s Sigourney Weaver in this.
I'm thinking
Her then,
Ghostbusters
yeah.
1 Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, sure, I
Or
get that.
little alien Sigourney Weaver. Yep.
Let's see if you can guess by this. Indy.
Karen Allen. I wrote it right down. It's Karen Allen.
Ooh,
It's
I
on my
like
phone.
that one wins. I like that.
I specifically, I'm like, oh, from the moment, I'm like, that's Karen Allen.
Finally, Steve, who'd you have? I think we all had Ed O'Neill.
Damn it.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm gonna actually.
Okay.
No, but that's good. I
Ed
like
O'Neill's
that.
great. I like that a
great
lot.
For the
pick. I
sole
love that
reason
pick,
that it's just 90s coach of Craig T. Nelson and Ed O'Neill's Married with Children.
Yeah.
I just.
I don't
Same
hate
thing.
that. I was thinking.
They also had they had similar career resurgence too, because Ed O'Neill did Modern Family, and then Craig T. Nelson was in Parenthood.
True.
Oh, wow.
So I'm piggybacking off of the Karen Allen, who I also had. I'm just doing Harrison Ford, and I think he'd do really at it.
That was my first one before
Jordan,
Ed O'Neill
he's
popped
my-
in.
Did you have it too, Mark?
He's my B, so I'm glad you at least mentioned it, so we can get that out there. I did James Woods. Oh no.
That was our recasting. Let us know what you thought of it, but we're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Welcome to Mount Rushmore. This week, we're doing famous hauntings or hauntings families for movies. We left it pretty wide open, but, you know, it's the spooky month. Chris is our guest. He's going first. What's your favorite haunting in the movie?
Guest goes.
I'm going to go with one that just classically terrified me when I was a kid,
Okay.
and that is the Amityville Horror.
Oh, okay.
Can't miss it.
It's on my list, but it's not definitely. I don't think it's my Mount Rushmore.
Here's a rule of thumb, and this is for everybody listening. If your dad, your spouse, your wife is out there chopping a lot of wood and you guys don't need it, get out of the fucking house.
Mom, is Dad going to kill us? We're just going to have to wait and see.
I don't know.
But I will say this, as far as unnecessary remakes go, That one's not that bad.
I was gonna say it's not
Like
a terrible remake of the original.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
this may be kind of like a bullshit. I'm going Beetlejuice. It's as fun as it
that was
gets.
what I was gonna do.
that was gonna be my other one.
I was
but-
going to go an unconventional funny one. No, I 100% agree with you. That's maybe my
Beetlejuice
favorite.
is
Ghost
a
with the
great
Moses.
Yeah.
Up there with fun hauntings. It's pretty much, I mean, it's that or Casper. for
I
me.
don't necessarily think it's a Halloween movie. I know
Casper
it's
was on my
adopted
list,
by
too.
the spooky season, but man, it couldn't get more fun than that.
No, that's a great
Michael
pick.
Keaton
I'm
may
gonna
be
pick-
one of the few people that could, and I'm thinking about this. It's obviously our first Batman, but then also, I think he'd be a great Joker. Let it rip.
I agree. I'm going to pull out a movie I liked a lot from high school, Haunting in Connecticut.
Oh, you always did
I
like
do
that
love
one.
that one.
Yeah.
It's
a creepy one.
It's a good creep. I mean, like, it's not
They
great.
kind of go
but-
into a little bit more of like the
Necromancy.
quote unquote science, ectoplasm coming out of people's bodies.
It was a good
and-
creepy.
Yeah.
It had kind of twist. It was a nice surprise.
Sorry, I'm picking The Omen.
Oh,
That
that's
one.
good.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a little more devilly than the haunting, but he's definitely terrorizing. the
Sure,
entire...
but just haunted family. Like it's the son.
That
it's
fits
the-
in
I
there.
saw the original one at my friend's house in like 4th grade. That fucked with me for a while. I did not like it. Ooh, didn't like it. I mean, it's a pretty straight remake.
There was a while after you watched that where you kept going, "It's all for you, Damien."
When we were kids
Around the house.
Well,
Yeah.
it affects everybody
do recall
differently.
that.
God, that one fucked with me.
If the shoe fits,
Another just good ghost movie for back in the day. Kevin Bacon, Stir of Echoes.
I thought
It's
about
good,
that.
just-
I did think
It's
about
good
that.
mystery, just kind of ghost story. It's good.
that is a creepy one.
What else you got? Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I did Nicole Kidman's The Others. I just really like that one, and I don't care if anybody else does.
I left it off the list because I
Did
thought you
anybody-
would say it.
Yeah.
Anybody pick like Sinister or The Conjuring?
I had Conjuring
I
as
was gonna-
honorable, just because it is a
Conjuring's
good
good.
family
Conjuring
haunting
for like
you know.
modern, it's like probably the best modern like haunting thing other than Paranormal Activity. I'm gonna put that above it, maybe in my opinion, but
All these possession movies, I do have to say, I forgot to say this earlier in the episode. The older I get, if all my family's safe and not stuck inside the TV, moving really does suck, and you're going to ride it out for a lot longer than you think.
that's true.
Especially if you own.
How do we feel The Shining fits into the category?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, it's got to, right?
It's the hotel that makes him kill, but like it's all the ghosts and stuff.
I was
yeah.
gonna say, like,
I
is
have it on here.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a ghost. It's
Is that like a perennial watch for you guys?
not
No, not really. I mean, I like
I
it.
do
Not
enjoy
really.
it. It's a great movie, but it's not perennial.
I'll actually argue that it's more of a winter watch for me.
True.
I would have maybe-
Yeah,
All
I'm
the
saying
snow?
like January,
Yeah.
February. I'm watching The Shining.
And those are kind of hard to come by. Like the
Yeah.
wintry horror watches. So that's
Especially
that's a good point.
ones that aren't like your scary Christmas movie. This is like Cabin
Yeah.
Fever and Murdering My Family, and it's Kubrick, so it's the whole thing.
What do you guys think about like something a little more lighthearted, like Nebuchadnezzar?
I thought about
Little
that.
Monster
Like that.
House.
Yeah.
or like
Oh well,
Casper
yeah.
or
Those are a
something.
little more
Casper
monster.
counts.
We
That's
did say
a haunting.
Casper. Casper counts.
Casper
Honorable mention: Crimson Peak, the Guillermo del Toro movie. It looked good, but it was just a bad movie. Let's see. That's kind of actually all I had on my list
An
here.
American Haunting. That was okay.
Oh yeah.
I do have
Haunting of Hill
I
House.
do have one problem with
mean,
The
that's
Conjuring.
TV,
They show the witch too much. It's too present.
Everything nowadays shows too much, and that's the
little-
problem.
Babadook.
Oh, that's
Never
that's
seen
a
the
good one.
Babadook. Still
Check it out.
That's a good fit. Yeah, I guess that fits into the category for sure.
Okay. Well, this
Let
was
us
a
know
fun
some-
watch for me. I enjoyed the Poltergeist. I look forward to what else we do.
Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Child's Play.
Child's Play.
Ooh, Chucky.
Let us know what you thought of our favorite haunted families in horror. Let us know some of yours out there. Thanks for listening to our take on Poltergeist. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Rate and review, that always helps. If you want more content out there, make sure you check out I'm Not Crazy, Urban Hermit, the Highwire Podcast, and of course, more cult classics. Until then, we'll check you on the next one. Bye. 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 Bye.